County Board of Supervisors for June 23rd, 26th to order. We'll have roll call.
Hufall.
I think he may be online.
I seen him.
Oh,
Franek.
Yes.
Wilharm.
here.
Stendor.
Here.
Connors.
Here.
Livingston. Philip Livingston. Bousset.
He's excused.
Thank you. Joma.
Here.
Sutterholm.
Here.
Van Buren.
Here.
Schultz.
Here.
Ader excused. Mindell.
Here.
Murdig.
Here.
Garrett. Trudeau. Negro.
Here.
Metzinger.
Here.
Campbell.
Here.
Ray. Thank you. Kinney.
Here.
Present.
Thank you. Okay, we'll have a moment of silence, then we'll do the pledge. Okay, we need an approval and adoption of the agenda. Mr. Sindor,
Ron will make a motion. We approve the agenda.
Ron Sindor makes a motion.
Wilhelm will second.
Dick Pufall will second that.
Mr. Wilhelm seconds it. All those in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. Public comment pertinent to the agenda items, resolutions, ordinances of the day. 3 minutes per speaker. I do have one from M. Is it okay if we put you into item 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other public comment in the room on the agenda? Any other comment? Any other comment? Any comment online? Any comment online? Any comment online? Hearing none, we will go to item 4A, Community Development Block Grant for its County Comprehensive Plan Update. What's that? Roll call. Oh, roll call to open that public hearing.
I'll make a motion. We open the public hearing for comment on the community development block grant.
Okay. Laura?
I'll second.
Laura Negro seconds it. So there's a motion and a second to open the public hearing. All those in favor say aye. Oh, I'm
Aye.
sorry. I apologize. Roll call.
Franek.
Yes.
Wilharm.
Yes.
Stendor.
Yes.
Connors.
Here.
Joma.
Yes.
Sutterholm.
Yes.
Van Buren.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Mindell.
Yeah.
Murdig.
Yes.
Garrett.
Yes.
Trudeau.
Yes.
Negro.
Yes.
Metzinger.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Kinney.
Yes.
Hufall.
Yes.
17 yes.
Thank you. Motion carried. Okay, we open a public hearing for the Community Development Block Grant. Erica first.
Hello, everybody. I am Erica Hanikel, the county grant writer. I need to share a couple of required pieces of information with you before we open it up for public comment. And I want to make a note first to say that this public hearing is for the purposes of the CDBG grant that we have for our update of the county comprehensive plan. So there will be several more opportunities to provide more feedback about the plan itself. So you can provide feedback today, but you can also provide feedback at any time online, at any time talking to any of the voting members of the committee. We will also be having a forthcoming open house in September or October about the plan. And we will have a final public hearing for adopting the plan, which will also incorporate more comments. So item 1 of 4 parts that we have to go through today is to update the status of where we are with the CDBG project, which is the work of the grant. So the work that's been completed by the committee is that the committee has reviewed the 2016 comp plan. It set up a website and a communications plan, and it's been executing on those communications. Supervisors were assigned sections of the plan to gather community input and details. We launched and finished a countywide community survey about community needs for the purposes of the plan. We have reviewed and updated land use maps and their classifications for the county. We have reviewed community demographics changes and revised different plan elements to reflect those demographic changes. We have also begun to discuss issues and opportunities within the plan. Going forward, we will be continuing that actually this afternoon at another meeting. And all reports for the CDBG grant have been completed on time. So the work that is still to be done for the project is to continue updating the plan, continue to incorporate comments and thoughts, review plan implementation, right? So once we have the plan, we need to have an implementation plan for it. We need to plan and hold an open house for the plan. Consider even more public comment at that time. Compile a final draft of the plan. Open a 30-day comment period in September or October. We don't have these dates firmly set yet because we have months to go. And then we need to hold a public hearing and pass an ordinance in probably November or January. And then the board will need to adopt our county comprehensive plan, and we submit it to the state so that we are in compliance with regulations and ordinances. We will also do follow-up work after the plan is adopted to complete final requirements for the grant, do a thorough review of county zoning ordinances in accordance with that plan, and then also annually review that plan through the planning committee to see that we're on track with what the plan is wanting of us over the next 10 years. So that is the end of part 1. Part 2 is very quick. We need to provide a status of displacement of persons because of the plan. The fact is there is none because this is not a building plan. We are not displacing anyone with the plan. Number 3 is a brief review of housing needs in the community that Decker requires. So I've compiled a couple of statistics from different sources. I have also added a report that the Wisconsin Counties Association Forward Analytics Research Team released last month. That is within the packet for you if you'd like to read a little bit more about that. But in general, the Wisconsin DOA recently reduced Wisconsin's expected housing needs for the state. And that's because the state's working age population is now expected to decline by 200,000 people by the year 2030. So a needed 84,000 homes is now the new estimate or the low end estimate for what Wisconsin needs at that time. In general, and more specifically for Ashland County needs more affordable workforce housing. By and large, renovations for aging homes, a whole lot more senior housing, and net new construction in general. So we sort of still have the full scope of housing that Ashland County needs. We do have Bayview Apartments that's going up here in Ashland that will provide 151 market rate units within the coming months. But still, I guess I would say that lower market rate and lower rate housing is still needed because the best statistics tell us that someone living in Ashland would need to make at least $18 an hour full-time to afford a 2-bedroom apartment. And jobs at that scale are hard to come by in Ashland. So that's the end of part 3. And now we open it for part 4, public input. I will leave the podium because the public input is for the whole body, not just for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, public comment. M, did you want to talk? Okay.
Microphone, please.
My apologies. My name is M. Cardenas. I have a degree in sustainable community development from Northland College, and I've been going over some of the materials for the comprehensive plan. And I would just like to voice some feedback and thoughts that I have. Number one, I want to voice my support for both attention to as well as funding for affordable housing in the county. As well as the UW extension program. Worker-owned co-ops, I think, are a great way to economically revitalize this place, as well as while maintaining like higher wage jobs and things like that. Overall, I think Ashland County needs to value and invest in the talent and resources that we have, not necessarily chasing tourism or an industry that can come and save us. What we do have is an insane amount of creative and resourceful people and an amazing lake that we should be protecting with our lives. So I think that just taking a look at what's around you and investing in that. I don't know if any of you were able to attend the recent event about homelessness, an informative educational event about homelessness. And I've learned that that about 30% of Ashland housing units are considered vacant, which I think is an insanely high number. And we definitely need to be doing something about that to discourage short-term rentals and encourage affordable housing in these places. I also brought a book called The Comprehensive Plan. This is a textbook that I read while I was studying to develop sustainable communities. And I highly recommend, you can flip to any page in this book and it has policy recommendations. It has examples of other cities and other places that are doing these things, that are putting into effect, providing and maintaining quality civic spaces. That's one of them. So this is a great book to reference and read, and I would be happy to lend it out to anybody who wants to take a look. Thank you.
And just a comment back to you. If you want to send your ideas, if you haven't already, to our website or give them to the planning committee, because every comment helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Erica, can you give her the extension info email address? Thank you.
Are there any comments from in the room or online? Oh, go ahead, Pat.
I called my insurance agent last week on my house insurance and asked him, why did my house insurance go up 17.9%? Given the market we're in, we don't have that many bad storms. And the answer was, it is so hard to find a contractor to do house repairs, roofing, siding, windows, etc. That's what the market commands. When we looked at data on economic development in this county last year on the finance committee, the jobs in construction really jumped out as far as the money that can be made in that. So we talked a while about this issue. This doesn't seem to be any easy answers as far as the skilled labor force. But if somehow we could get more people working in construction, remodeling homes, siding, windows, roofs, that sort of work, there's good money doing that work. And there's a need for it. There's a demand for it. But that would also help our housing situation, where so many of these homes need to be remodeled. The hard part is getting people into those trades, getting them trained, someone running a business. So somehow, if there's anything that we can do that directly helps that, that will be helpful. I did teach the math class for the Construction Essentials program that the tech school and the ADC had run for a while, but then that came to an end because they had a hard time getting people to enroll in it and actually stay in it and then actually go out and work in the trades. So that didn't turn out to be the solution either. But if there's people looking for work and want to do work in the trades, there's more than $18 an hour in that field, but someone's got to start a business and run it and do the training. There's a real opportunity, and it would be good for us all the way around.
Good, thank you, Ben. Any other questions from anyone in the room or online? Elizabeth?
First, a comment from me. I just want to thank Erica for keeping us in compliance on the ICDBG grant, and appreciate that we're accomplishing a step today that we need to on time. And then I was asked online when I explained that we're going to be discussing the comprehensive plan today, not quite recognizing the difference that we're actually discussing the grant. So someone asked me to bring up for them, because they couldn't attend this morning, are we intending to, and I said I would, even though now I know it's not as appropriate, but in the comprehensive plan, are we intending to bring up a data center moratorium or ordinance? So I'm bringing that up for one of my constituents.
Well, yeah, we have an interesting comment. We may not be able to, and I have my own opinions about data centers and the cost of their use of electricity. But that being said, we may not as a county have the authority to limit construction, but we'll listen to everybody. And there's some meetings potentially in the future here to talk about data centers, but we probably want to keep it in the back of our minds that when they come in, how do we react? We may not have authority as a county, but we may have a lot of authority as individual citizens. So go ahead, Laura.
Since it got brought up, there are ways of redoing our zoning and ordinances in order to request health reports, things like that, different kinds of things, maximum sizes and everything. So it may not be the direct way, but twice around the barn gets us to the host too.
Good. Thank you very much. So
This is Elizabeth Granick. Can I make a comment?
Sure, Liz, go ahead.
Yes, piggybacking on what our supervisor Kinney was saying about construction jobs and all that, we could incorporate, use SEP to train individuals that may be at risk to, like juveniles after they graduate, or, something like that, or like folks that cannot find jobs because of a record. That is something that, could keep them off the streets and, put them back into the workforce. And, the construction trade, like somebody had mentioned, it's a good paying and, a great thing. And it makes people feel better about themselves when they're working towards a goal and trying, to get back into the community. I'm not sure if a construction company, during their off season would, be able to intern folks and get them trainable. And there was something else I had mentioned, or I had heard from the community. They expressed for concern for data centers in the future, and what we could do to educate the public. And I heard that there is a forum coming up. I believe it's in July. There's a forum coming up to people that want to get educated about the community outreach, whatever the questions they may have concerning that. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Liz. Any other questions? We need a motion to close. Okay. We need a motion to recess?
No, we're just gonna.
Okay.
Just gonna hold it.
Okay, we'll hold a public hearing open through the meeting in case somebody else comes on or comes in and wants to talk about it. So then we will go to number 5, appointments. We need a motion to appoint Marcus Joma to the Planning Committee.
I'd make a motion to appoint Marcus to the planning committee.
Supervisor Setterholm makes a motion.
Terry will second it.
Supervisor Van Buren seconds it. Any questions? All those in favor of appointing Marcus to the Planning Committee, say aye.
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 No.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you for volunteering. Thank you. Then we need a motion to appoint Randy Harvey to the Tri-County Corridor. Is there a motion? Mr. Sindor?
Ron Stender will make a motion to appoint Randy Harvey to the Tri-County Corridor Commission.
Ron makes a motion. Laura?
I'll second that motion.
Laura's Negro seconds the motion. Any questions?
I have a question.
Oh, Laura,
Who's Randy Harvey?
what's that? I'm sorry.
I know who Marcus is. I don't know who Randy Harvey is. So I'm all for it, but an intro.
Good. Thank you, Laura. Okay, motion's been made and seconded to appoint Randy Harvey to the Tri-County Corridor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 6, motion needed to approve May 5th, 2026 County Board meeting minutes. Laura? What was that? Oh, Ron?
Yeah, Randy Harvey is a member of this Ashland Snowmobile Club. He's also been helping the Alliance out with the snowmobile grooming, and he would be a citizen representative.
Thank you, Laura and Ron. Okay. Now we need a motion to approve the May 5th, 2026 County Board meeting minutes. Mr. Messinger,
I would make a motion to approve the minutes.
is there a second? Mr. Meindl? Supervisor Meindl seconds it. Any questions, changes, or corrections to those minutes? Motion's been made and seconded to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. Item B, Resolution R 06-2026-1538, resolution to allow the use of the opioid funds for opioid treatment.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion's been made and seconded by Clarence.
Brannick, second.
I'd like to open that to discussion before you vote.
Well, we can after a vote, because if you don't get a motion in a second, then it dies. So Liz Frannick.
Brannick,
seconds it.
second. Yes.
Open for discussion. Go ahead.
Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of information on this being new on the board to what was going on before. So it's my understanding this is $50,000 from our opioid settlement to be used for a grant that ran out.
Yeah, correct. The state gives us a grant for transitional housing for people are recovering from opioid addiction. It's never enough money. So we have opioid funds from, 7 settlements? And this is one of the approved uses of that funding.
Yeah, I understand that, but the grant was for housing for opioid
Transitional housing, yeah.
and for prisoner housing as well in that part of the grant. So are we using this money for both? Because it was 20, now they want 50.
Well, it was 20 last year to finish out last calendar year, which is our fiscal year. So yes, the grant is running out. So anybody who is addicted to opioids and in recovery can qualify for the program.
How many do we currently have housed? I mean, from 20 to 50 is a significant, I understand that's grant money or settlement money that we're using for opioid, but opioid prevention and other programs that are covered under that. And that I don't think is going to be an ongoing thing. That was a one-time settlement from the drug companies for the counties in the state that filed lawsuits against the.
There's settlement money coming in for the next minimum 7 years. And we still have not received the big one, which is Purdue Pharma and the Sackler family. That one's still be tied up in court. Well, when that one gets finally resolved, that's going to be a huge amount of money coming in.
Was that 20,000 for the whole fiscal year, or was that just?
It was to finish out 2025. Since everything is done by our budget year, which is January 1st to December 31st. That 20,000 last year was used in 25. We're now in 26.
Right.
So the
was
money is
that
going to be
for
used just for 26.
Was that for the full year? The 20? Or was
No,
that-
it was to make up a shortfall for a grant.
Okay, what you were.
And we're gonna have a shortfall this year too.
Okay, you recall what the total was last year?
The total amount, no, I couldn't tell you
Okay,
offhand.
thank you.
Can I ask who's administering it? I mean,
All right.
fiscally,
Health
I
and Human
like to
Services,
see where it's going before.
our
we
Health and
give
Human
them-
Services Department. Our Health and Human Services Department.
Laura?
And shouldn't that be included in the resolution? Is that Health and Human Services going to do that? Because that was my question too. It
Sure,
was
we
just
can add
like
it.
county board was like, yay.
So
It's like another whereas.
or I can stick
Health
it
and Human
in,
Services Board will be administering the $50,000 for, something nice like that.
This is Franek. I have comments when appropriate.
here we just add, at the last whereas. That's,
So on that last whereas,
it's to be administered by the Health and Human Services Department.
oh,
Ashland
like
County.
that.
So if you want to make an amendment,
Okay, Clarence, you will.
I'll make a motion to amend the resolution to include that wording to be administered by the Department of Health and Human Services.
Is there a second? Laura?
I'll second that.
Laura seconds it. All those in favor of approving, Bill? Oh, Liz too. Oh,
Let Liz go first.
Liz?
Yes, I
Is
had
there-
some
is there-
comments.
is a comment on the amendment. Otherwise, you vote on the amendment, then you go back to debate.
Okay, Liz, is your
Okay.
comment on the amendment or a comment?
No.
on some- Okay, so we'll vote on this
Comment,
first
okay.
and then we'll come back. Thank you, Bill. Bill?
Sean came up with a good idea, like how many people is this actually affecting in Ashland County? Did we discuss that, or are we just voting on the amendment first?
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
So
sorry.
there's an amendment to change the language to add Health and Human Services as the one taking care of this opioid settlement money. Okay, all those in favor of approving that amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, now I'll go back to Liz first. Liz?
Okay, my comments were, we were talking about, folks that could be, potential construction people, after they recover from treatment and everything, that would be a wonderful program for them to reintegrate to society. And also, if ever appropriate in the future, I'd like to see local and tribal communities get together and have some kind of memorial either built or created for those that have fallen victim to dying from overdoses. So many families are suffering, and it could be
I don't know.
something,
But okay.
if that could be something appropriate for the future, if anybody, individual would come up, and could they use the funding for that to, erect some kind of a sculpture or some kind of a wall or something that, shows these victims' first names. If the family doesn't want to use that, that's up to them. But, or some kind of shirt or something that shows how many losses have been just in our community. I mean, it's all over the country right now, but it's something that a lot of people are just silently grieving. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Okay. Now, Heather, we can't change that on the screen anyways at this moment, can we, to add that Health and Human Services? Okay, so we'll,
I'll have it in the minutes and have it updated.
okay. But that's the intent, that we will add that language into there. Bill?
I guess I would like to know some kind of accounting as far as how many people it's serving, to the social
Clarence
services.
might have a,
I don't have it in hand, but you can find that out at Health and Human Services. They'll have records of that.
I guess that doesn't answer my question. Is it 1? Is it 10? Is it 50?
Well, like I say, I don't have that information in front of me, so, I mean.
Well, we're voting on this.
Right, the Health and Human Services should have had someone here to answer some questions to at least point us in the right direction. That's what, I'm not against it, but my understanding of that opioid money is for education and for prevention. I mean, this is part of it as well, but I mean, how much?
I agree with you 100%, Sean.
everyone's certainly entitled to ask that question of either Human Services and or attend their meetings. Clarence can probably tell you when the next meeting is, but I don't disagree that, I mean, you're not gonna know names, but numbers is certainly, and maybe, I don't know if it's possible that if we can get the Director of Human Services on before we close, we could ask. What's that?
Let's go back.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead and recognize. She's on.
Just a point of clarification. I don't know if putting Liz on the spot for this is appropriate because that's not, she doesn't do the housing, she does the public health. So, you know, and this is a very allowable use for the funds. Not so much the memorial kind of thing that was brought up, but this helping people transition. It was for basically the big summary was to help them make their lives better. So yes, the education part and things like that, but also housing, because sometimes these things are a barrier for people for housing. And if they don't have solid housing, then it's hard to be productive in our city and county.
Pat?
My recollection from past conversations on the transitional housing is it's going to vary from person to person on how long they need that transitional housing. For one person, it might be a short while if they have family or support network that will help them and take them in. somebody else, it might be a longer process to find a support network to help. Or they just need that transition longer. But I'll ask the administrator, but this is a mandated service, correct?
Part of it is, yes. But the state only funds so much of it. That's
Right.
why we're using the opiate funding.
So because we have an obligation to provide some transitional housing, from a budget perspective, Health and Human Services, my take on it in the time I've been here is they've been as judicious with those dollars as they can be to work with people the best they can with the resources they have, and they have not asked for money for transitional housing beyond what they've really needed. I think they've been as careful as they can be with using those funds. And they also realize that these funds will only be here, once they're gone, they're gone. So they're going to be as careful as they can be with those funds.
Terry, are you online here?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I signed in with a different device and I couldn't hear you, so I can hear you now.
Okay. Do you have a sense of the numbers of people that we're treating or have been treating for opioid addiction?
For the
yeah.
housing.
For the housing?
We're on the transitional housing resolution.
Okay. For the transitional housing, now that we have it available, there's more people who are requesting it. But it's also for the room and board for the treatment portion. So together, there's probably 100 people at least who are using that funding. The state gives us a small grant, and it was based on a one-time snapshot view of how many people we had in treatment, because if they have Medicaid will pay for the treatment portion, but Medicaid is not allowed to pay for room and board. So that grant that we have has never gone up, and the amount of people needing treatment and needing the room and board has gone up. So I think between the transitional housing and the room and board, we're probably at 100 people. Room and board can be $100 a day. It's typically for 30 to 45 days per person. Transitional housing can be for a couple months. Right now, we do have a grant for some of that. And we ran out of both funding options kind of early last year. That's why at that time we were only $20,000 short. But we anticipate needing more this year. So it's just up to the 50,000. It's not a guaranteed that it would cost 50,000.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of Terry? No? Did that give everybody a sense of where we are? Okay. So are we ready to vote on the resolution? We have a motion and a second to approve the use of the opioid funds for the treatment. All those yep, Terry?
Yeah, this 50,000 was opioid settlement funds, correct? Okay, thank you.
Yes, it was. Or, yes, it is, I should say.
Okay. Okay, any other questions? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Resolution R 06-2026-1539, resolution to support sustainable funding for local public health departments. Is there a motion? Clarence?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Clarence makes a motion. A second. Laura?
I'll make the second.
Laura seconds it. Questions?
Liz could probably answer questions.
Okay. No questions? Motion's been made and seconded to approve. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Item D, acceptance of Forestry Department 2025 Annual Report. Bill?
I will make a motion for approval.
Bill Metzger makes a motion. Mr. Sindor?
Ron will second it.
Ron Sindor seconds it. Questions? It's an annual report, and as Bill or anybody on forestry will tell you, the report doesn't change a lot in the majority of the language, but there's updates to things like stumpage payments, what's going on. And so, Laura?
Is Chris on? Is there something that he thinks needs to be highlighted
Chris, are you
for
on?
everybody?
I am. If you guys have any questions, the only thing that really changes a lot is on page 8. Top of the page is distribution of county forest timber sale revenue. Gives a summary of what the revenue was for last year, the payments we made to the towns, to the state. It gives a breakdown, and then it shows the total net revenue that went back to the county as well. That's the page that really is the nuts and bolts of what we do, and it's the one that changes the most from year to year.
Liz?
Thanks for the report. In future years, would it be possible to include where it would be helpful, like how this compares to last year's earnings? Because without that, it's hard to know if this was a relatively lucrative year or not for those of us who are new.
Yeah, we can show that page each year. I don't want to step on Chris's toes, but there was a year quite a while ago where we had $1 million in stumpage, but things have changed.
So when I started here 21 years ago, our average was about 250 a year. 2025 was an average year for, I would say, the last 10 years. We average right around between 450 and 625. The one year we did hit 1.2 million was after a significant wind damage event. So there was a bunch of salvage that occurred that year. But this is a fairly typical year for revenue for the county based on the number of acres we get to work with every year.
It may be the only department in the county that is a plus revenue department. But I do, just a personal opinion, I am worried about the market. I go by the Glidden Woodyard, which is just one of many every day, and I have never seen a woodyard so lack of wood. They have like 3 stacks of wood, which normally that whole south end is completely full. And then they start putting wood elsewhere. I'm not sure, Chris may know, but I'm not sure what's going on there. But the loss of the mills has had a huge impact on us too. And I wouldn't have wanted to have been a logger driving a semi with diesel, because I have a neighbor whose bill in 1 month was $2,000 more for fuel during this war period than normal. That $2,000 increase is coming from someone. I mean, they can't take that. So I worry about things like that, because logging is a big business in this area. So it's something we should keep an eye on. Pat?
On the screen that's being displayed above the line towards the bottom, net timber sales revenue, for those with paper copies, Chris made a correction since this was printed. But above net timber sales revenue, if you have a paper copy, it has 589,651.93. Chris corrected that to the number above net timber sales revenue that correctly shows the 523,252.2. So if you have a paper copy, you should use the number above net timber sales. So if you get home later and read this and go, wait a minute.
Yeah, thank you, Pat. And then for those that are new and not on forestry, there are towns that get a share of the revenue. The towns that have the county forest within it, they get a town payment every year. That's at 10% that is split among the towns. And I think on one of those pages that actually shows the townships that in the southern part or so of the county that get a payment every year for that forestry land and stumpage. Okay, is there a motion to accept that annual report? Oh, it's already made, or was it?
Yes, I made that.
Okay. And Pat?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second.
Or seconded. I didn't hear what you said.
Okay, I thought we had it, but we, I should know, we wouldn't have been discussing it if we hadn't. So we do have a motion and a second to accept the Forestry Department Annual Report. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Updated county code of ordinances? Oh, yeah, see? Ordinance 006-2026-133, County Forest Use Ordinance. Is there a motion to accept? Mr. Kinney?
Make a motion to accept.
Supervisor Kinney makes a motion. Is there a second? Sean?
I'll make a second.
Sean seconds it. Questions? Oh, Liz, go ahead.
I'm questioning section 24.3.5 trail cameras. I noticed that there's really nothing about how long that they are allowed to be up and to what they may point and to what use they may be put to. And it just seems on public lands, maybe we'd want to have some restrictions around how many cameras are out there and who's looking at what for what purposes.
What, are you asking what purpose a camera would be for public land? Or,
Well, I know that they're for hunting and
Right.
for watching wildlife normally, but I'm just wanting to make sure that that's what they're left as.
yeah, I guess I will say this, I have 6 cameras out on public land. And I also have a DNR camera on public land. That's a DNR camera that I monitor and then give that data to the state. I guess my 6 cameras are mostly for seeing what wildlife is there. And I'll give you an example of why I do it. I've had the DNR camera as an example for about 5 years, and I've just taken my first picture of an elk. I knew there were elk in the area, but never had one on my camera. And then within the last month, I've finally had one. I do it for 2 reasons. Mostly I see what wildlife is there between wolves, bears. I even had a moose 4 years ago. But I also use a couple of them for hunting. I'll be honest. I want to see what's coming by. Now I can only speak for myself. I'm trying to think, the DNR camera has a tag on it. I don't know that all of my cameras have a tag, but I'm in a different situation because this, I believe, is talking about only county forests. Mine is on public land that private owners own. And it, just as an example, anybody who has their land in the old forest crop, which is managed forest land now, that's public land. It's not mine. But this for the county forest, I guess how long they leave it there, I guess that could be a concern, but if they're checking it, I'm not sure it's a concern, but if someone comes upon one, you certainly would want a name on it so they don't damage it or take it. Was this
This is being longstanding policy. We're just putting it into ordinance form now
okay?
because this has gone through corporate council, so.
Okay. Okay. And any other? Pat?
So I'm on forestry this time, and so what they're trying to do is codify their policies. And at the forestry meeting, we talked about some things, and I followed up with some emails with the county forestry department on this. And so there may be things in the coming year or 2 or 3 where they go, oh, we'd want to change this, add that. And it wouldn't be surprising, but this is a first attempt at codifying it. And if there's things that they would like to change, we can always change them, but they'd really like to get this in place so that when they get busy in the fall with hunters, you know, it speaks to who can do what on the trails and camping and stuff. So they have something in place so the public knows what the expectations are, but also so staff and law enforcement has something to go by. But we can always change what's in here. This isn't carved in stone forever. I suspect, like most ordinances, it'll change over time. So.
This is Franek. I have a comment.
Go ahead, Liz.
Under F, under camping, it says any person who violates the rules and regulations of this chapter or of good conduct. Could we say involving any criminal conduct? It says disorderly conduct or threatening behavior, but that doesn't really reflect like a drug sale or something like that. Could we say criminal conduct under disorderly conduct? Could we add that? Or criminal behavior? So that would just be covered.
Huh? Yeah, we can. We could just insert criminal.
Gary,
Sean?
I believe that's already covered under Wisconsin law and county ordinances. What this is if you're being an asshole in the forest, we can kick you out.
Enough said there.
In a
Thank you.
nutshell.
You're right.
All the criminal conduct should already be covered under state statutes and county ordinances.
Good. Thank you, Sean. Okay, so we're assuming that criminal conduct will be handled by the law enforcement agencies. Good. As our deputy is affirming that. Okay, so we didn't get a motion?
Yeah.
We did. I should know that, but hey. Okay, so any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion to update the county code of ordinances, forestry ordinance, say aye.
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 Okay, now we go to the updated code of ordinances. Yeah. Okay, is there a motion to approve? Terry?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution. Or excuse me, update county code of ordinances. Thank you.
Supervisor Van Buren makes a motion. Is there a second? Ron?
Ron will second.
Ron Sindor seconds it. Discussion. Seeing none, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor of approve? Oh, I'm sorry. Liz? Or Elizabeth?
Mike on.
On this, since there was such a ton of
This is just
information.
updating our 2 years ago, or was it 3 years ago, Heather? 2 years ago, the county board approved in the budget to codify our ordinances because they were just flying all over the place. And nobody really knew what anything was. So this is just, so we hired Minicode to put everything together into a logical form. So this is actually our existing zoning. It's just put together in a more readable form, and it'll be searchable on. So corporate counsel worked with Minicode on this to make sure everything was appropriate and possible. So again, this is just recodifying, reorganizing everything so people can actually find ordinances.
So there's no content change whatsoever. It's just reformat.
It's reformatting and some things are struck from it, which are crossed out.
Mhm. It would just be nice that there'd be some kind of, I mean, I see the two sentences here. Just when you have a big packet like this, to just have highlights or of like summaries that just make it really clear what we're supposed to focus on. There's just not enough time to focus on all of it.
Okay. Terry?
Yeah, we've looked at this down in the city of Mellon. Basically, these people go through and update it to current state statute, so we're compliant there also. So it's, and there's a lot of stuff been taken out to scan through it.
Will we see the best final version of this at some point?
Yeah, it'll be available online and it'll be searchable too.
Okay.
So you can type in fence and online and you can find the ordinances for fences.
Yeah, I know a couple of years ago, we ran into some issue and I don't remember the exact issue, but we couldn't find if it was in an ordinance or not. And so, it's pretty tough to enforce anything if you're not sure we even have it on the books. So,
That's why we went through this whole process of reformatting everything, sticking it all in one space and into a logical spec order.
okay. Okay, any other questions? Okay. All those who approve of updating the county code of ordinances, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Resolution R 6 2026 1540, a resolution of the Ashland County Board of Supervisors adopting the 2026 Ashland County Hazard Mitigation Plan. Okay. Mr. Van Buren?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution R 6 2026 1540.
Supervisor Van Buren makes a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that, Dick Poofall.
Dick Poofall seconds it. Thank you. Questions? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. Resolution R 6 2026 1541, intention to join the statewide public safety interoperable communication system for Ashland County. Is there a motion? Ron?
Ron will make a motion. We accept the,
Supervisor Sindor makes a motion. Is there a second? Laura?
I'll second.
Laura makes a second. Questions? Seeing or hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carried. Verbal updates, County Administrator.
Just a couple. All right, so the budget process has begun already. Finance Committee started looking at the capital improvements budgets. And then operational budgets are due July 31st. So if you have any priorities you want to see, please let someone from the Finance Committee, myself or someone from the Finance Committee know. The next county board meeting is going to have Carl Green from UW Extension here as doing a presentation. Topic is going to be data centers. And he'll be available to answer questions from the board. He'll give you a presentation and answer questions. And then he'll be appearing at the Bayfield County Board that same night. On Monday, July 27th, between 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock, there's going to be he'll be giving a presentation at the Great Lakes Visitor Center. And that will be open to any supervisor that wishes to attend, and it will be open to the public as well. We're trying to arrange it so we can get it recorded on Zoom or Teams or something, but I'm not sure if that's possible given the technology at the visitor center. So, but again, that'll be next county board meeting. And then on a good note, yesterday we received notice that we won the innovation grant for our joint dispatch. So that means we're going to be getting an annual payment of $172,634 for each year for the next 5 years, which totals $863,170. There are no restrictions on this money other than dispatch budget has to stay below 2025's level times 1.15. So that's great news. Thank you, Erica. She's the one who applied for it. So that's about all I got, but it's money we can definitely use.
Any questions of the administrator? Okay. Oh. Yeah, thank you. Okay, county board supervisors, any questions, updates, concerns? Next meeting. Oh, okay, we need to close the public hearing. Is there a
I make a motion to close public hearing.
Mr. Van Buren makes a motion to close the public hearing. Laura?
I'll second it.
Supervisor Nagel seconds it. Any questions, further inquiries? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, public hearings closed. Oh, Wanda, roll call. Heather? Yes.
I don't think you need a roll call. to close it. Yeah, I don't think you need a roll call. to close it.
No, we don't need a roll call to close it. Just open it.
Thank you. Okay, any other county board supervisors? And then the question was, if we need the July 28th, July 28th will be the next county board meeting.
And we will be having that meeting because of the data center presentation.
Okay. 9 o'clock on the 28th of July. Okay, and then if any, go ahead.
Why are we having that meeting? I missed that.
Because we miss you.
Oh.
Well, one, we have the data center presentation by extension. And I
Yeah.
know there's a bunch of supervisors that are interested in the issue, so.
And two, if any supervisor has an agenda item, just let myself or Dan know or something. Okay. Seeing nothing else. We need a motion to adjourn. Mr. Sindor.
Ron will make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay, second,
I'll second that motion.
Mr. Poofall seconds it. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
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 Well, we are adjourned. Thank you.